so I'd write about 8 bars so he could get off the stage. You know.
What instrument is that in there that's so distinctive, that kind of...
It's a saxophone, but it's got what they call a baritone. It's an octave divider on the saxophone, so everything he plays, you hear another octave. It's fat.
Now, a lot of people think of television as being, it's great, it's fun. It doesn't always get the respect that I think it should get. No, but people can be a little dismissive of TV. I happen to think, I'm a big TV buff, I think some of the great orchestral arrangements were on TV shows in the 1960s and 70s. I mean, great. The Hawaii Five-0 theme is just great music, and as is a lot of, you know, not the Charles in Charge theme. I don't... You didn't write the Charles in Charge theme, did you?
Yes, I did.
Oh, my God.
No, but,
Charles in charge of our days and our nights. Charles in charge of our wrongs and our rights. I need Charles in charge of me.
You didn't tell me.
You're never coming back here again, are you?
Oh, yeah.
It's giving us look like, who the hell is this guy?
But a lot of jazz musicians like Pete Rugolo and Mancini and jazz musicians, Johnny Williams, who jazz musicians wrote all the themes in those days, and so Benny Carter. So you got a lot of big cooking bands back then.
Yeah, like the Wild Wild West theme was just a great, I mean, and the arrangements and full bands. And speaking of arranging and music, you're good friends with Leonard Bernstein.
Exactly.
And you have a really funny story in here. I'd just love to hear you tell it, which is you were trying to explain to him the difference between the cellist Yo-Yo Ma.
Oh, right, and how to say your mama.
And Yo Mama. Because he was confused about what was how do you say it? Is that right?
He said, because he had a very broad range of culture background, and he'd say, what's exactly the perfect spot to say it? And I said, if a cello player tells you, Mr. Bernstein, your downbeat on bar 41 was a little sloppy, you say your mama.
Right.
That's what you said, but he didn't. He'd just say yo-yo ma sometimes. And so.
Did he ever use it in the right context?
Yes, he did. We were in the Vatican. In fact, I went over there to do... No, seriously. And we were over there to do publicity for Michael Jackson on a Thriller tour, and he happened to be in town conducting the symphony, and he invited me for a private tour to go to the Vatican. And so everybody, 7 people, we're laying on the floor, which is totally forbidden in the Vatican when there's crowd that's in there. And so he's got his arm around my neck, and he's explaining to me what's happening up there with Michelangelo and everything else. And so some Monsignor walks in and says, "Basta, basta." They didn't recognize him because he's very famous there. And he said, "Yo, mama." I said, that's the right inflection, but the wrong place.
You cannot be doing that in the Vatican.
Drunk dead, man.
I love him saying that.
He was really cool. He was so upset. He came in town, and I remember Wynton Marsalis, and he and I hung out all night long. I was 200 bottles of champagne. And he was so upset that he wasn't in We Are the World. It was amazing. He said, "Play it again." He said, "I could have done that easily." I said, I didn't think you'd want to.
There must have been, I mean, you know, retroactively, there must have been a lot of people that said, "Oh, I was in town, I could have done that, you know, I wish I had been."
No, it was much more drastic than that. They said, "Why wasn't I in that?"
Right, they were angry that they couldn't have got in that room.
You know, that's in hindsight, though, you know, it's all cool.
Now, looking through this book, again, all these impressive names, but I don't think I've ever talked to anybody who met, you actually, and dined with Picasso. You met and dined with Picasso.
Right. Well,
what was that like?
When I first went to Paris to work for Barclay Records, in the summertime, they had a villa down there, and it was right next door to Le Californier. That's what Picasso painted a lot. And I remember seeing Jacqueline was there. That's when the women's, in '57, stopped wearing bras. You know, that was the big debut of that over in France. It started in France, naturally. And he had ducks and goats on the 3rd floor. You could see them running up and down. And one day we were down at a restaurant at the Corset with the Barclays, and he had some sole meuniere, and he took the bones after he finished and just pushed it out, the plate out in the sun so it got scorched. And he took colored pencils and took with a blue and a yellow and a red. And then when somebody said l'addition, which means the check, he pushed it out there like that, and the guy took that as the check. I said, that's the way I want to grow up.
That is pretty cool. Well, also, that's...
I could tear up some fish bones. You know?
Yeah, that wouldn't work for all of us.
No.
I'm not going to try that tonight. Yeah, here you go. Conan O'Brien, huh?
So try that on a
That's $5.50, buddy.
Try that on a barbecue.
I wish we had more time because there is so much to talk about. The autobiography is really fantastic, and it's a must-read. Autobiography of Quincy Jones, Q. And, of course, this is a great thing to have, your musical biography, which is a CD set. It's a real honor to have had you on the show. Thanks a lot for doing it. Quincy Jones, Mark Maron is coming up. We'll take a break. We'll be right back.
There is a rhythm to life. We sleep at night and wake in the morning. It's this sleep cycle that helps keep us in a healthy balance. But for millions of Americans, sleep doesn't always come easy. Fortunately, there's Ambien. Ambien is a prescription sleep aid that can help you get a full night's sleep. With Ambien, you fall asleep fast, stay asleep longer, and generally wake without feeling groggy the next morning. No wonder Ambien is the #1 prescribed sleep aid in America. Until you know how Ambien will affect you, you shouldn't drive or operate machinery. Side effects may include drowsiness, dizziness, and diarrhea. You shouldn't take it with alcohol. Patients who abuse prescription sleep aids may become dependent. Prescription sleep aids are most often taken for 7 to 10 days as needed. Your doctor will advise you about taking them longer. Take Ambien only when you can devote a full night to sleep and wake up rested and ready to start your day. Talk to your doctor about Ambien. Ambien works like a dream.
At Scott, we just made the best Scott towel ever.
With new wide ridges.
See, only Scott has these unique ridges that absorb like no other towel.
From shrimp to sea bass.
A better Scott towel just makes more sense.
New Scott towels with wide ridges.
Say hello, Crispy Minis rice snacks. Goodbye, Mr. Chip. Because once you taste their light, crispy crunch and intense flavors, plain old chips seem a little flat. Quaker Crispy Minis, the rice snack that eats like a chip.
There's no other bar quite like it. The white stripes are a moisturizing cleanser. The pink stripes have a nourishing lotion with vitamin E. These keep you clean and soft. These replenish your skin's essential nutrients. They work together to create Dove Nutrium, the first dual formula bar that does more than just clean and moisturize. It nourishes your skin to a healthy, radiant glow.
8 championship races on Thoroughbred Racing's richest day. The World Thoroughbred Championships, the Breeders' Cup, Saturday at 1 Eastern on NBC.
All right, everybody, fine show tonight. We have a great show coming up tomorrow night from the new movie Riding in Cars with Boys. Steve Zahn is going to be on the show. Also, director Spike Lee and comedian Buddy Bolton. So watch that show. It's going to be a good one. Folks, before I go any further, I wanted to mention briefly just how impressed I am night after night with our show's director, Liz Plonka. She's really fantastic. Our show, as you can imagine, can be pretty unpredictable. I'm kind of a loose cannon. And Liz always amazes me with her ability to follow whatever's happening on the spur of the moment. Sometimes, though, I like to test Liz's reflexes just a little bit to keep her on her toes. Just sort of surprise her with a little pop quiz. Is it okay if I do that tonight, folks? It'll just take a second. Thank you. All right, here we go. All right. Liz, just stay calm, and let's see if you can keep up if I suddenly switch for no reason to camera 3. Not bad. Pretty quick, Liz. What if I switch to camera 1? Very nice. Back to 3, 2, 1. Nice work. Stay on 1. All right, Liz, I thought I could fake you out. I guess I couldn't I? Salute you, and why don't you just cut to my shoe? Back to me. Shoe. Me. Shoe me. Yes, very good. All right, let's just kick it up a notch. Cut to me as a skeleton. Impressive. Now cut to Max. Back to me as a skeleton. Skeleton Max. Normal me. Wow, Liz, you are on fire tonight. Pretty good, all right. Cut to Max. Cut to Max's family. Cut to Max's other family. Family.
Max, who are those people?
Other family.
Max, who are those people?
Cut to Max. Family.
I hate you, Daddy.
Other family.
I hate you too, Daddy.
Cut to Max. Back to me. Me as a skeleton. Liz, you are the best. All right, we'll take a break. We'll be right back with Mark Maron. Stick around.
This will be an everlasting love. This will be the one I'm waiting for. This will be the first time anyone has loved me.
More women use orthotricycline than any other birth control pill. Taken correctly, it's over 99% effective, so you don't worry about getting pregnant till you want to. And orthotricycline is clinically proven to help clear up moderate acne.
The pill does not protect against HIV or sexually transmitted diseases. Serious risks include blood clot, stroke, and heart attack. Cigarette smoking increases these risks, especially if you're a smoker over 35. Women who use the pill are urged not to smoke. Women who have blood clots, certain cancers, a history of heart attack or stroke, and those who could be pregnant should not use the pill. For more information, talk to your healthcare provider.
If you're going to take the pill, why not take orthotricycline? Clinically proven to help your skin look better. Orthotricycline. Isn't it great to find the one that's right for you?
This will be.
If you are one of the millions of Americans who want to get back into the rhythm of life, ask your doctor about Ambien or call toll-free 1-877-9-AMBIEN.
There's no other bar quite like it. The white stripes are a moisturizing cleanser. The pink stripes have a nourishing lotion with vitamin E. They work together to create Dove Nutrium. It nourishes your skin to a healthy, radiant glow.
Babies rejoice, and leaks, beware. Here comes the ultimate in care. Huggies Supreme Diapers, with the magic of the leak lock system. Draws wetness in, locks it up, helps stop leaks, and have fun too. Huggies Supreme makes it all come true.
NBC Friday begins with an all-new Providence. As a wedding approaches, a relationship ends.
I'll never be able to live in your world.
And an act of heroism will change a family. And after a new Dateline, an all-new Law & Order SVU, a famous sex doctor murdered.
A cold predator.
A case of greed and passion.
Join the party.
Don't look away. How they catch this killer is a shocker.
Oh my God.
An all-new Providence, an all-new Dateline, and an all-new Law & Order SVU, NBC Friday.
NASCAR's at Phoenix. Saturday, 3 Eastern on TNT, the Outback Steakhouse 200. Sunday, 2 Eastern on NBC, a desert duel. At Talladega, a wild final lap crash as Dale Earnhardt Jr. won a thriller. Now all the NASCAR heroes face the tricky Phoenix Oval. NASCAR on NBC and TNT.
Want to see something scary? How about something really scary? NBC Safety, the Halloween edition of The Weakest Link.
Who's the rock in your trick-or-treat bag?
This Sunday, get chilled to the funny bone.
Do you frighten little children?
The Weakest Link goes Halloween, NBC Sunday at 8, 7 Central.
This Sunday, the practice is a repeat, but NBC is all new. First on Law & Order Criminal Intent, the ultimate con man murdered, but are his victims playing the biggest con?
You screwed up.
Then an all-new UC Undercover. She's tough, smart, and at the top of her game.
What's my cover?
Now, she and the undercover team are after stolen jewels.
I don't have time to waste.
And she might be in over her head. All-new Law & Order Criminal Intent, followed by an all-new UC Undercover, NBC Sunday. NBC Monday, Part 2 of the third watch season premiere.
I made you a card.
Thank you, Sam.
New York paramedics, police, and firefighters.
You going back down?
Relive the weeks after September 11th.
Just want to be a cop again.
Part 2 of the third watch season premiere, NBC Monday.
All right, everybody, my next guest is a stand-up comedian and the author of the brand new book, The Jerusalem Syndrome. Please welcome Marc Maron. First of all, congratulations. The book came out.
Thank you.
This is possibly, what is going on with the drawing of you on the front of the book? You look, get in tight. You look completely insane.
There's a part of me that's definitely there at all times. Yeah.
I'm getting really scared by that guy.
Yeah. Scary.
Yeah, well, congratulations,
Thank
though.
you.
I know you've been working on this for a while. Are you holding up all right? Because I know that you're a neurotic man. You are a fearful man
Yes.
in calm times.
Well,
How
you know,
are you now?
Honestly?
Yeah.
I'm not all right.
Right.
Yeah, there's nothing okay about me. I mean, all day long on my TV, here in the building, germs, spores, bacteria. What am I supposed to do with that fear? You know what I mean? I mean, give me something I can run from. You know what I mean?
Right.
I mean, what am I, like, guys with guns, missiles even. Okay, missiles are coming. All right, I got an hour, I got a car, I can try. You know what I mean?
Gotcha.
I mean, what am I going to do with germs? I mean, be aware, be alert for spores? What does that mean? Yeah, I mean, like I'm on the subway, I'm panicky. I'm on the subway, a guy's like, I'm like, get down, you know? He's a biological assassin. They're filling him up with germs. I mean, and if it's really a problem, where are the gas masks? Can I have one, please? Can we have them, please? I mean, what do we have to wait for the free market to take care of that? Do we have to wait for the Nike gas masks? Do we have to wait for the gas masks that come with shoes, the air, get the hell out of here, you know? Or hey, you got the Nikes, I got the Adidas no hopes, you know? I don't know, you know, they keep saying, get back to normal. I didn't know where that was before this went down.
Right.
You know, I mean, what does that mean?
Well, they want us to get out and do things.
Right, resume consumption, you know, start eating, you know, go out, go to the movies, take in a show, you know, put some gas in your car, invest, get something between you and your feelings before they lead to questions. Because there's no time for questions during wartime, you know, like, hey, what the hell's going on? Oh, no.
Well, what about, a lot of people are more patriotic now. You see it everywhere. People are putting up flags. Have you bought a flag?
No, but it's got nothing to do with patriotism. I just don't, I don't want a flag. But, but I live in Astoria, and it's very interesting because where I live, there's a lot of Pakistanis, there's a lot of Egyptian people, there's a lot of just regular old, you know, good old working class folk, and it was there that I learned that the flag can really have a couple of meanings. You know, it can mean, you know, patriotic loyalty to the country, or it can mean, please don't hit me, you know. I mean, who would have known that the American flag, please, no, I give.
I have one too.
Yeah. I just been trying to, I just don't know, you know, I try to figure things out. You know, I try to figure out how do human beings, you know, what makes them do such heinous evil, you know, and I started thinking about these terrorists, and, you know, when they're denied sex their entire life. No women, and the women that are in their lives, they treat like, you know, hell. They don't let them talk.
They're completely separated.
Yeah.
They can't speak.
And I have grown to believe that, you know, that would screw anybody up, all right? But I think that's really at the core of it, is that I believe that if you don't have a woman in your life keeping you down somehow, you really have no perspective of reality. You know?
Sketch this out for us. Tell us what. Because I think you're on to something.
Well, all right, like picture the conversation. I'm going to go and fly a plane into the building. You're not going anywhere. If you need to fly somewhere, why don't you fly to the store and get some ice cream? We have people coming over. They're our friends. But we are... Okay. And I believe that's really at the core of civilization, is women saying no.
Uh-huh.
Because...
There you go.
Well, I mean, if you think about it, if that element of life wasn't in, didn't exist, men would be having sex with animals in the streets. They would just be like, oh, come here, because they wouldn't know better. They'd
It's
be like,
true. That's the only thing that's keeping me from that act.
Exactly.
Is someone saying no,
Exactly,
no. I'm
no.
like, oh, yeah.
I thought it was moving. I thought I should,
Now, a lot of people in the last couple of weeks have been praising El Al Airlines. They've been saying that their airline is so everything. The security is so great. You've flown on it.
Yeah.
Is it really that good?
Well,
the security is it that amazing?
This was a couple of years ago even, and you go to El Al, it's mind blowing because they have Mossad agents, they have Uzis, there are guys with guns right there. You go through several different security checks, and believe me, when you're in that much security, that you do have a moment where you're like, we don't have a bomb, do we? I remember I was married at the time, and I'm like, honey, do we have a bomb? Why are you looking at me like that? You packed it. Did you pack a bomb? And you get up to the guy, I'm like, we don't have a bomb. And
that's not good. That doesn't help.
Yeah. No, because then, of course, there was a strip church, which is awkward,
Awkward, then pleasant, then awkward.
Yeah.
What the hell did that mean?
I'm not sure.
The Jerusalem Syndrome, My Life is a Reluctant Messiah, with an insane drawing of you on the cover.
Yeah.
Don't make
it's
that
an insane
face.
book. It's full of insanity.
I know.
All kinds of drugs, rock and roll, God, Satan, the whole thing. It's all in there.
That's some party you had.
Oh, man. You're telling me.
All right, well, thanks for coming by. It's always great to have you here. Mark Maron, we'll be right back with Diana Krall. Stick around.
Snuggle audition, take one, and action.
You.
Oh.
Wait. I'm snuggly soft.
Thank you. Next.
I get towels. Fluffy.
Right. Next.
I get blankets, cuddly.
I don't think so.
When it comes to real softness, there's only one Snuggle. Snuggle. There's no substitute for softness.
This will be an everlasting love. This will be the one I'm waiting for. This will be the first time anyone has loved me.
More women use orthotricycline than any other birth control pill. Taken correctly, it's over 99% effective, so you don't worry about getting pregnant till you want to. And orthotricycline is clinically proven to help clear up moderate acne.
The pill does not protect against HIV or sexually transmitted diseases. Serious risks include blood clot, stroke, and heart attack. Cigarette smoking increases these risks, especially if you're a smoker over 35. Women who use the pill are urged not to smoke. Women who have blood clots, certain cancers, a history of heart attack or stroke, and those who could be pregnant should not use the pill. For more information, talk to your healthcare provider.
If you're going to take the pill, why not take orthotricycline? Clinically proven to help your skin look better. Orthotricycline. Isn't it great to find the one that's right for you?
This will be.
All right.
Put a smile on your face. Make the world a better place. Put a smile on your face. What you wanna do, say what you wanna do. Put a smile on your face. Come on, smile. Make the world a better place. Put a smile on your face. What you wanna do, say what you wanna do.
Smile.
NBC Friday begins with an all-new Providence. As a wedding approaches, a relationship ends,
I'll never be able to live in your world.
and an act of heroism will change a family. And after a new Dateline, an all-new Law & Order SVU, a famous sex doctor murdered,
A cold predator.
a case of greed and passion.
Join the party.
Don't look away. How they catch this killer is a shocker.
Oh my God.
An all-new Providence, an all-new Dateline, and an all-new Law & Order SVU, NBC Friday.
All right, everybody, it is always a real pleasure to welcome my next guest back to the show. Her new album is called The Look of Love, and she'll be appearing this Friday night at the Capitol Theater in Quebec City. Please welcome Diana Krall.
cry the whole night through. Well, you can cry me a river, cry me a river. I cried a river over you. Now you say you're sorry for being so untrue. Well, you can cry me a river, cry me a river. I cried a river over you. You drove me, nearly drove me out my head, while you never shed a tear. Remember, I remember all that you said. Told me love was too plebeian. Told me you were through with me, and now say you love me. Well, just to prove you do, come on and cry me a river, cry me a river. I cried a river over you. You drove me, nearly drove me out of my head, while you never shed a tear. Remember, I remember all that you said. Told me love was too plebeian. Told me you were through with me, and now you say you love me. Should well, just to prove you do, you can cry, cry me a river, cry. I cried a river over you.
Thank you very much. Diana Kroll, everyone will take a break. We'll be right back.
What if your baby's skin was drier here? Would he smile more here? What if his diaper let air flow through here and locked away wetness there? Would he laugh more here? He might if his diaper is Huggies. They keep baby's skin drier than any other diaper, and that's important for healthy skin. So he may have a little more fun in everything he does. Huggies, because drier skin means happier babies.
For colds, the pediatrician and I agree. It's Pediacare.
Pediacare works fast and safely with no unnecessary medicine your baby may not need. Pediacare drops, preferred most by pediatricians, trusted by moms.
Say hello, Crispy Minis Rice Snacks. Goodbye, Mr. Chip. Because once you taste their light, crispy crunch and intense flavors, plain old chips seem a little flat. Quaker Crispy Minis, the rice snack that eats like a chip.
NFL 2001 is here, and this year's Sports Illustrated and NFL Films want you to grab on to the ultimate NFL package. 3 great gifts. The official NFL Films highlight video of your favorite team, plus a collectible NFL team logo football, both free with your paid subscription. When you use your credit card, you'll also get this fleece stadium blanket free. With your official NFL team highlight video, you'll see who'll have all the fun in 2001. Call now and you'll also get this team logo football. Pick a team, any team. The choice is yours. Both are free when you order 54 issues of Sports Illustrated for only $1.48 an issue. Save over 50% off the cover price. When you use your credit card, you'll also get this fleece stadium blanket embroidered with the Sports Illustrated logo free. It's the ultimate NFL package, free from Sports Illustrated and nowhere else. Get into it.
This little group of bandits have held off the German military for longer than the entire country of Poland.
Uprising, NBC 1 week from Sunday.
That is our show for the night. I want to thank all my guests. Diana Krall, that was amazing. Thank you for doing it. The Look of Love is the album. Go buy that album. Our thanks to Mark Maron for being here, sharing his views. Our thanks to Quincy Jones, Q. That was very cool. Big thanks to Ozzy Osbourne for cheering us all up. Of course, Max Weinberg and the Max Weinberg saying good night. We'll see you tomorrow. Some great songs in this new album, and I thought my staff would love it if you could just sing one of them for the whole staff. Is that okay?
Oh, my pleasure. Come on,
all right.
Come on, go.
Yeah.
People are giving back and helping out in every way they know how. Whether it's the rescue, the support, a prayer, a candle, you see it everywhere. Hollywood has helped out its own way, with results. A song here, a word of encouragement there.
Be yourself, no matter what they say.
But today in New York, Sting put it all together. Sympathy, thanks, encouragement, and hope.
Be yourself, no matter what they say.
All wrapped around a walk in the park.
I'm an Englishman in New York.
An Englishman in New York offers a free concert. Hi, everybody, and welcome to Access Hollywood. I'm Pat O'Brien.
Hi, everybody. I'm Nancy O'Dell. On September the 11th, Sting had a scheduled concert on the internet live from Tuscany, Italy. After
After just one song, though, Sting cut the webcast short. Today, he was back behind the mic, appropriately in New York City, and Tony Potts was there for the show. Hi, Tony.
Hi, Nancy. Hi, everybody. The hauntingly appropriate Fragile is the one song Sting played. Then he asked for a moment of silence, and it was then that Sting did something that he's never done in his career. He asked the audience what he should do next. What happened after the webcast faded to black?
So then I had an audience who had been invited from all over the world in my backyard, like 250 people in the band. I said, well, guys, what do you want? You know, what, you want us to stop? Do you want us to talk? Do you want us to play?
And although Sting tells me he didn't really feel like singing, after the moment of silence, he went along with the audience's unanimous decision to continue the show.
A couple of the band were crying, a couple of the audience were very emotional. But as the evening wore on, we became more kind of defiant and realizing that expression of joy is something that terrorists try and stop. So we felt that it was the right thing to do. I'm angry, I'm confused, I'm frightened, and I don't really want to give this meaningless act of violence any credence.
When you first came out, you said you were angry, you were confused.
Confused and frightened.
And frightened.
Well, everybody was.
7 weeks hence, have you changed a bit? Have you been able to put some things in perspective, focus?
Yeah, I'm still angry, confused, and frightened.
That's because Sting has lived here in the city for many years, but it was just this past Monday that he returned for the first time to this city since September 11th.
There's a spirit of community on the street that it's very heartening, actually. You know, it's subdued, but it's kind of firm, and I'm honored to be here. I really am.
And today, Sting is giving back to the city he loves so much, performing a free concert in Bryant Park, which also celebrated the release of Microsoft Windows XP. Now, the company, on the request of Sting, is donating computers and software to 2 schools near Ground Zero. Now, what about here? Any concerns, security concerns? I mean, we have policemen behind you here. Any security concerns for you these days in coming out in public and doing something like this?
You know, I lead a normal citizen's life. I'm not surrounded by bodyguards or any of that. I just live my normal life. I have a right to.
Here's something else Sting told me. He wrote a birthday song for Tom Hanks, and he co-wrote it with Bruce Springsteen. Talk about your collaboration, right? Well, here's another collaboration for you. Gwyneth Paltrow and the folks over at Harper's Bazaar magazine. The result is a photo spread that leaves little to the imagination. And I caught up with Gwyneth and her dad last night here in New York City. In the wake of September 11th, it's good to have everybody come out and the events like this to continue to go on.
Yeah, it's very important to just keep, living your life, business as usual, and support the city.
With that stay strong attitude, Gwyneth and her father, Bruce, gladly posed for photographers at a fashion charity event. After all, New York is their home. Gwyneth was raised here and also owns a home in the city, not too far from Ground Zero. And this father-daughter duo looked happy to be out and joking together. You got a smooch on your cheek there. Is that from your daughter?
No.
What's been going on over there?
My wife's out of town. You know how it is. New York, hot town. Lies away working. Women, I can't, I beat them away.
With Blythe Danner out of town, it was up to Gwyneth and her dad to pick up the Paltrow Clans Award for the most fashionable family in film, an honor presented by the Fashion Group International. And leave it up to your dad to document in public your style, both good and questionable.
Who had the Doc Martens in 7th grade? And they had the chopped off hair. And I think you were. How about that birthday when you had the Donna Karan and the paratrooper boots?
I don't remember that.
And who could forget Daddy's little girl's latest fashion move in November's Harper's Bazaar. That was quite a statement, wasn't it?
Let's not go there in front of my father, please.
Oh, has he not seen it?
Can we? No.
Yeah,
Can we go to the next topic?
Oh, you have seen it.
Who was the designer?
Tonight on ABC, Diane Sawyer offers a rare glimpse inside the family of the world's most notorious man, sitting down for a candid conversation with the sister-in-law of Osama bin Laden.
The first time I saw Osama bin Laden, I was playing with my kid and somebody on the hallway, and somebody knocked at the door. And instinctively, I opened the door and here was that man, and I just got a glance at him, and he turned his back. because I was unveiled and he didn't want to see me.
Now separated from bin Laden's brother, Islam, Carmen bin Laden tells Sawyer religious fervor runs so deep in Saudi Arabia that even though his family and country denounce his actions, privately many share his beliefs.
What I have heard, he has the backing of some of the royal family. They think the same way. Not all of them, but some of them. You have to understand, I think in Saudi Arabia, Osama bin Laden has a lot of power. And in my opinion, this is what makes him dangerous.
Do you know for a fact whether money has gone from the bin Laden family to Osama bin Laden?
My opinion is yes. And this is my personal opinion.
Because?
For Islam, they would give. You know, for Islam, they would give. But I think for, to help, they would give.
You can watch the rest of Sawyer's Primetime Thursday interview when it airs tonight at 10 on ABC. Well, it's Thursday, and we got that soap opera, round 3 of Friends versus Survivor Africa. Will Friends make it 3 ratings wins in a row? Last week, the NBC sitcom pulled in around 26 million viewers to about 20 million for those castaways.
Coming up, what Kevin Spacey insisted on doing in a scene that shocked co-star Jeff Bridges. Plus, the TV network Osama bin Laden uses to broadcast messages to the world. We go inside Al Jazeera TV. And heartfelt messages from Hollywood stars to our troops overseas.
And we're here, and you're far away, and all we want you to know is how much we appreciate what you're doing and how much our lives are better and more protected because of you.
God Bless America debuts at #1. The compilation CD featuring America's inspirational and patriotic favorites, including Celine Dion's rendition of its title song, is the #1 selling CD in the country. The disc, which includes music from Bruce Springsteen, Mariah Carey, and Lee Greenwood, to name a few, debuts at #1 this week, selling more than 180,000 copies. And we reported that Enya continues to see an increase in sales in the wake of September 11th. Her latest CD, A Day Without Rain, holds strong at #2 again this week, adding 169,000 copies.
Another episode.
After spending 2 weeks at #1, Ja Rule drops to #3 with Pain Is Love, selling 158,000 copies. The godfather of heavy metal, Ozzy Osbourne, just misses the top 3, debuting at #4 with his latest CD, Down to Earth. International tenor sensation Andrea Bocelli debuts at #11 with his new CD, Tuscan Skies.
Come on, baby, take a ride with me.
And John Mellencamp is back with his latest release, Cutting Heads, debuting at #15. For additional chart information, you may log on to Billboard.com.
Come on, baby.
Access Hollywood brought to you by the Civic from Honda, with more fun per gallon.
Hello, Mrs. Lindsay. William?
Hello, Stephen.
You're not by any chance computer shopping, are you?
Mm-hmm. If I can get some help.
Well, right now, you can get a complete Dell system with an Intel Pentium 4 processor, which is so nice, for only $899.
Really?
She's intrigued. Excellent. Because right now, it comes with your choice of a free CD burner or DVD upgrade. And as far as service and support, Dell's won more awards than any other PC company in the last 5 years. Just call or go online. Tell them what you want, and right to your front door comes America's favorite PC.
Thanks, Stephen.
Now you can get a Dell desktop with an Intel Pentium 4 processor, which delivers performance where you need it most. And 6 months of DellNet by MSN Internet access for just $8.99. Call or go online today and get a free CD burner or DVD upgrade. There's great deals on notebooks, too.
Dude, you're getting a Dell.
Easy to buy, easy to own, easy as Dell.
In tonight's Instant Access, Kelsey Grammer and wife Camille are the proud parents of 8-pound, 5-ounce Mason Olivia, who was born yesterday through a surrogate mother.
We've all been through a traumatic ordeal. New York, America, and the entire world have been changed forever. Many aspects of life seem less important, while others take on epic dimension. In the coming months, we'll devote all of our resources to reporting stories about recovery, rebuilding, and restoration. Reports on the courage of ordinary people, and the stories about the triumphs of some and the huge challenges facing so many others. Rely on us. Thank you.
Save up to 80% buying factory direct.
The Jewelry Factory makes most of their jewelry in their state-of-the-art factory, imports their diamonds direct, and guarantees the lowest price. Compare Tiffany's 1-carat platinum band for $5,800 with the Jewelry Factory's for $1,500. 1-carat hearts are $199, 2-carat bracelets $349, 1-carat studs $399. The Jewelry Factory has a huge selection and guarantees all the jewelry they make to appraise for at least double. Buy Factory Direct, the Jewelry Factory in Hackensack.
You need a car to get the most out of life, but banks won't finance you if you have bad credit or no credit at all. Hi, I'm Fran Tarkington. You can get your car financing quickly and easily by calling 1-800-BAR-NONE. Our operators are here 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. In minutes, they'll complete your application, and you can have your approval package the very next day. Just one call from the privacy of your home, and your check could be on its way. Even if you've been turned down before, get the car you need and deserve. Call 1-800-BAR-NONE right now.
Ratings times, let's fire up that scoreboard. Dan Rather's in-depth interview with Paul McCartney gave CBS's 60 Minutes 2 a boost with about 13 million people tuning in. ABC's surprise hit, according to Jim, is holding strong, also with about 13 million viewers, no longer a surprise. And Bob Patterson did a bit better on a new night time with about 9 million. But NBC's potent combination of The West Wing and Law & Order ruled the night, each with over 21 million viewers. Coming to theaters tomorrow, K-Pax, where Kevin Spacey offers up a typical out-of-this-world performance. Spacey's so convincing, in fact, he had his co-star wondering if maybe he wasn't crazy after all.
She says she doesn't like it when you sneak up on her.
No way.
Is he or isn't he an alien? That's the central question of K-Pax.
Where is home? K-Pax.
In the movie, Kevin Spacey stars as Prot, a mental patient who may or may not be from a distant planet.
I want to help you.
And Jeff Bridges is the psychiatrist who must figure out the truth.
You're telling me you're beaming back to K-Pax on July 27th at 5:51 a.m.
Where do you go to play an alien?
Where do you go? I mean,
well, I went around and talked to a lot of psychiatrists, and I talked to people in mental institutions, and I'd ask the staff, do you have anybody here who thinks they're from outer space? And they'd say, oh yeah, there's like 11 people here. And then I met a number of them, and they have tinfoil on their buttons and tinfoil on their hats because...
Waiting for the signal.
Well, you get better reception.
The film, like the story itself, was often as funny as it was dramatic.
Red Delicious is my favorite.
After Prot decides early in his journey that the fruit of Earth is among the planet's greatest pleasures, he eats a banana, peel and all.
Your produce alone has been worth the trip.
Tell me about the banana scene.
It was really, really horrible.
It was? I was going to try it.
It was really, really bad because, depending on the ripeness of the banana, that has something to do with what the skin is doing. And what's most interesting, I didn't realize, is that I was on a potassium high for about 4 days. And Jeff just kept staring at me. I mean, the look on his face, he wasn't acting. I mean, he was just astounded.
Well, K-Pax isn't the only movie Kevin Spacey has coming out. He's already generating Oscar buzz for The Shipping News with Julianne Moore, which comes out at Christmas. But you don't have to wait that long. Tomorrow, we have your first look. And coming up tonight, the little-known Arabic network now at the center of the world. We go inside Al Jazeera TV, plus the stars send messages straight to our troops overseas. And at the recording studio for the Billy Crystal, John Goodman monstrous duet. It's all coming up. But first, tonight's staggering stat. On Tuesday, we told you that the Star Wars Episode 1, The Phantom Menace DVD sold a record-breaking 2.2 million copies in 1 week, bringing in more than $45 million. Now, that may have affected this week's video and DVD rentals. Yes, rentals, as The Mummy Returns hangs on at #1 for the 3rd week with just $5.8 million. Coming in a close second is the computer animated comedy Cats and Dogs with $5.6 million. Along Came a Spider finished in 3rd with over $4 million.
Sunday, Jim.
Comfortable, spacious, magnetic. The Civic from Honda.
On the next Sally.
He has no job,
has no car.
They found their dream guys.
He loves me. I love him. We're going to be a family. No, you
And they're standing behind them.
To honor and obey till death do you part.
But the men they love are violent criminals.
You were beating my daughter. And one time that I did try to leave him, he threw me down a flight of stairs.
Sentenced to love. Next, Sally.
Today at 11 a.m., only on NBC4.
Have you gotten yourself into too much credit card debt? You may be able to point and click your way out with a second mortgage from Ditech.com. Whether you have equity or no equity, Ditech has a second mortgage with a no closing cost option that may help lower your monthly payments. Why pay minimum monthly payments when you can pay off your high interest debt with a second mortgage from Ditech.com? For fast, friendly service, apply online or call us at 1-800-71-FIX now.
On Days of Our Lives, a week of jealousy and passion. First, Jack plays the dating game to make his ex-wife jealous.
You are really serious about Greta?
But all's fair in love and war.
I'm going out with Brandon Walker.
Then, young lovers caught in the heat of passion.
That was great. What was great?
And all hell breaks loose.
You feel that you're ready to have sex. When Sean and I are having sex, I'll make sure you're nowhere around.
Days of Our Lives. Weekdays at 1 on NBC Daytime.
These little town blues are melting away.
We'll make a brand new start of it in old New York. If we can make it there, we'll make it anywhere. It's up to you, New York.
Come to Broadway and let's go on with the show.
When that image from terrorist Osama bin Laden appeared on our TV sets, it caused a whirlwind of controversy and turned all eyes to the Al Jazeera network. With information during the war at a premium, this Arabic news channel has quickly become the pipeline between Washington, D.C. and the Middle East. What is Al Jazeera? It's tonight's Inside Story.
I say to Al Jazeera, do your job, but do it responsibly, and be careful that you don't become a tool of Osama bin Laden.
There was a pre-recorded message from Osama bin Laden that was released through the Gulf state of Qatar through Al Jazeera television.
The tape was aired by the Al Jazeera television network.
It's the statement that rocked the nation and put the then unknown, at least in this country, Arabic-speaking Al Jazeera network on the map. Do you have, at this moment, connections with someone out there if there's another bin Laden tape to get it to you?
We get the video from whether Taliban or Qaeda through many layers, of course, until it gets it to our correspondent. And I always say it is not news and it's not strange for bin Laden to deliver a tape to our correspondent in Kabul. We have to hear what he is saying. We're not going to give him hours and hours of broadcasting, but if he would answer some questions, it would be very important.
Hafiz Al-Marazi is the bureau chief of the now hectic Al Jazeera satellite office in Washington, D.C. While Al Jazeera's home base is located in the tiny Persian Gulf state of Qatar, it is quickly gaining worldwide recognition as a major source of information on the war against terrorism. So, who is Al Jazeera? Founded just 5 years ago, Al Jazeera reaches roughly 45 million viewers worldwide, 200,000 of which live in the United States. But most importantly, Al Jazeera is the only network in the world broadcasting live pictures from the ground in Kabul. However, the 24-hour satellite channel does not air just news. Political talk shows touch on issues such as sex, polygamy, and government corruption, considered taboo by Arab standards. The network also airs westernized commercials like this Kraft commercial, which ironically airs in English.
Kraft cream cheese spread. It will make your day.
But Al Jazeera's main audience is the close to 45 million Arabs living in the Middle East. And that's why Washington power players such as Secretary of State Colin Powell, Secretary of Defense Donald Rumsfeld, and National Security Advisor Condoleezza Rice have all recently appeared on Al Jazeera, using the network as a means to send out America's message.
The president's made very clear that the war
قال الرئيس بكل وضوح أن الحرب ضد الإرهاب.
Now, while some Arabs do not agree American leaders should receive airtime on Al Jazeera, the U.S. government also criticizes Al Jazeera's viewpoint as biased. At a press conference this week, Donald Rumsfeld condemned the amount of propaganda the network is sending out.
We have seen them escort people to things they wanted seen. And we have seen the things they wanted seen and the lies they have been putting forward carried across the globe on television and in the press. Now, what can one do about that?
We headed inside the doors to see how the network is handling the scrutiny and pressure of the world.
What are they mad at? You have a point of view that they don't like? Yeah, the point of view, the other side point of view. I mean, it's very convenient for any government officials just to hear the point of view that they feel comfortable with. We had this problem also in the U.S. when we put the Taliban's point of view. Some people were angered. But thank God that people in the U.S. administration realized the importance of independent media.
And even U.S. high-profile news anchor Tim Russert agrees we must continue to support our leaders to use Al Jazeera as a media outlet.
I would ask President Carter, President Clinton, President Ford, all the former presidents, flood Al Jazeera. Let them know who we are. We invented Madison Avenue in Hollywood. We know how to market ideas. No better idea than what the United States of America stands for.
From a network in the Middle East to one designed specifically for our troops. It is called the American Forces Radio and Television Service. And thanks to some Hollywood notables, it will be broadcasting something a little extra this holiday season. And with our help, the stars send messages of thanks.
All we want you to know is how much we appreciate what you're doing and how much our lives are better and more protected because of you.
Thank you for protecting our country. You guys are fabulous.
Foreign land, dangerous missions, and heartfelt messages to our troops.
Be careful and kick ass. And we love you, and I wish I was young enough to join them.
As soon as you guys get a free moment, ask for us and we'll be there. Play for you.
American troops called to serve in times of war can receive comfort from Hollywood, and these messages of support will be delivered to our heroes with the help of this man. Meet Colonel Ray Shepard. He heads up the American Forces Network, a military operation whose job is to broadcast TV shows like Friends, Oprah, and Everybody Loves Raymond to our troops overseas.
We take the best program that America has to offer. The program is based on the audience preferences here in the United States. We take that programming, mix it together into one single station, and then we feed that back to them.
Colonel Shepard invited us to the nerve center of this operation. Inside, we found a satellite feed room that is equivalent to most major networks. The high-tech facility also boasts 5 control rooms. Outside, the complex is completely surrounded by close to a dozen satellite dishes.
Well, our broadcast services reach about 175 countries overseas. And that means there are 175 places where U.S. personnel are assigned. In addition to that, we have about 100 to 120 naval ships at sea that also receive our service.
The service also delivers news coverage from all the major networks and cable 24 hours a day. Our troops can receive the programming schedule from the internet. And Colonel Shepard tells us his network could not function without the generosity of the entertainment community.
To have a celebrity, someone you love to enjoy to watch on television every week in your favorite programs, to have them address you personally and tell you how proud they are to be able to do your job overseas, that means an awful lot.
Those heartfelt messages from the stars, deservedly so, constitute our quotes of the day. Now coming up, we go behind the curtain of Monsters Incorporated. That's straight ahead.
Hello, Mrs. Lindsay. William?
Hello, Stephen.
You're not by any chance computer shopping, are you?
Mm-hmm. If I can get some help.
Well, right now, you can get a complete Dell system with an Intel Pentium 4 processor, which is so nice, for only $899.
Really?
She's intrigued. Excellent. Because right now, it comes with your choice of a free CD burner or DVD upgrade. And as far as service and support, Dell's won more awards than any other PC company in the last 5 years. Just call or go online. Tell them what you want, and right to your front door comes America's favorite PC.
Thanks, Stephen.
Now you can get a Dell desktop with an Intel Pentium 4 processor, which delivers performance where you need it most. And 6 months of DellNet by MSN Internet access for just $8.99. Call or go online today and get a free CD burner or DVD upgrade. There's great deals on notebooks, too.
Dude, you're getting a Dell.
Easy to buy, easy to own, easy as Dell.
Sunday, Jim.
Comfortable, spacious, magnetic. The Civic from Honda.
When I have an asthma attack, I feel scared. Sometimes my parents have to take me to the hospital. I feel like a fish with no water.
You know how to react to their asthma attacks. Here's how to prevent them. Call 1-866-NO-ATTACKS. Visit www.noattacks.org or call your doctor. Because even one attack is one too many.
Closed captioning and other consideration for Access Hollywood provided by...
No childhood is complete without Disney's Dumbo. And now, Dumbo takes flight in a 60th anniversary edition.
Stupendous!
Share this classic with your family. Disney's Dumbo, now available on video and Disney DVD.
Say hello, Crispy Minis Rice Snacks. Goodbye, Mr. Chip. Because once you taste their light, crispy crunch and intense flavors, plain old chips seem a little flat. Quaker Crispy Minis, the rice snack that eats like a chip.
There's something in the air, so noticeably subtle, so fresh. Introducing Home Fragrance by Ambipure, a delicate fragrance that fills the room. The Home Fragrance Collection by Ambipure. Fragrance your imagination.
Welcome back, everybody. Even in times like these, nothing is too sacred on Comedy Central, as host Jon Stewart proves in tonight's moment.
And we all know that our country stands united behind our president. Let's not kid around. We're not making jokes about him. We're united. But I got some footage from this summit. As President Bush arrives in Shanghai to attend the Asia-Pacific Economic... Oh, boy. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. Hey, Mr. President, Steven Seagal called. He wants his jacket back. No, that's not... I shouldn't do that.
All right, tell the kids a week from tomorrow, Monsters Incorporated opens.
And as we leave you now, we go inside the recording studio as stars Billy Crystal and John Goodman show us monsters don't just scare, they sing too. Good night, everybody.
Nothing if I didn't have you. Let's dance. Look, Ma, I'm dancing. Would you let me lead? Look at that, it's true. Big guys are lighting their feet. Wouldn't have nothing if I didn't have you.
Next time on The Other Half.
It's Passion Friday, and we're going to find out if there's a perfect partner for everyone.
You know what? There is going to be somebody for you if you'll look hard enough for it.
I don't think there's a perfect someone. It's all about work.
What do you mean work?
My wife built herself a really good husband. I mean, doing the things it takes to make that relationship grow.
You got to hold on to that dream. You got to believe that.
Next time on The Other Half.
Today at 10, only on NBC 4.
On an all-new People's Court.
You think that because I don't agree with you, I don't understand. You don't have to tell me louder. I hear you. I may just not agree with you.
He hired his buddy as concert security.
Were you letting people in because they were cute?
No.
So his pal has played. Now he wants to get paid.
He was taking money. You just trying to get over, man. You should just pay me.
Judge Millian makes him face the music.
That is an accusation. If you had the proof, you would have fired him.
On an all-new People's Court.
Today at 3, only on NBC 4.
They're ordinary people, through selfless acts of kindness, committed to their communities, volunteers, giving back. Now you too can make an impact in your community. Join NBC4 in the New York City International Year of Volunteers and share a part of who you are. Get involved. Become a volunteer. Because you have the power to make a difference in someone's life and yours. Log on to the New York City International Year of Volunteers. Volunteer for an even better New York.
It's Friday, October 26th, 2001. The spread continues. Anthrax is found at the CIA just a day after word of an infection at the State Department. New fears this morning over the world's most wanted terrorist, Osama bin Laden, now said to have nuclear components. And America's hazmat teams are on alert, but are they wasting their time? Those stories making news early today. welcome to Early Today. I'm Garrett Glazer in for Nanette Hansen. Well, we begin this morning with the bio threat. America on alert for anthrax and taking steps to stop the spread. Some 200 mail processing centers on the East Coast will be tested for exposure, and there will be random checks nationwide. Meanwhile, we've just learned traces of anthrax have been found at CIA headquarters. The mail facility there has been closed. The news comes amid growing fears that anthrax will claim more lives. It's already killed 3 people, and several more have been infected. Among the latest, an employee at the State Department at the mail facility there stricken with the deadliest form of the disease, and another worker's being tested after exhibiting anthrax-like symptoms. CNBC's Hampton Pearson has more on all this.
Mail deliveries to the State Department itself were halted following more evidence of the spreading bioterrorism campaign against the U.S. At the White House, Homeland Security Director Tom Ridge said some 10,000 persons, mostly postal workers, are now taking antibiotics at the government's urging. Ridge and top public health officials say the anthrax that turned up in letters in New York, Washington, D.C., and Florida appears to be from the same source. But the powder in the letter sent to Senate Majority Leader Tom Daschle was much more potent.
It is highly concentrated. It is pure. And the spores are smaller. Therefore, they're more dangerous because they can be more easily absorbed in a person's respiratory system.
On Capitol Hill, the Senate overwhelmingly approved an anti-terrorism bill, giving law enforcement sweeping new powers to track down suspected terrorists, including roving wiretap authority to tap any phone a terrorist might use, detain foreigners up to 7 days before charging them with a crime, and new powers to target money laundering by banks or governments.
The hour that it becomes law, I will issue guidance to each of the 94 United States Attorney's offices and the 56 FBI field offices, directing them to begin immediately implementing this sweeping legislation.
With the anti-terrorism bill about to become law, the legislative focus in the war on terrorism now shifts to aviation security and the economic stimulus package. At the White House, Hampton Pearson, CNBC, for Early Today.
And President Bush is expected to sign the anti-terrorism bill into law today. Well, workers from the Environmental Protection Agency have begun cleaning the site of this month's first anthrax scare. Workers in hazmat outfits sifted through the offices of American media in Boca Raton, Florida. The tabloid headquarters made headlines when a photo editor contracted inhalation anthrax and subsequently died. After collecting samples from the building, EPA workers plan a top-to-bottom cleaning. The process expected to take a month and cost more than $500,000. And now to the latest on the airstrikes in Afghanistan, where Allied warplanes have carried out one of the most punishing bombing runs in days. American jets targeting Taliban positions in and around Kabul. The strike's an effort to help the Northern Alliance secure the hills around a strategic airport. MSNBC.com's Preston Mendenhall is in Islamabad, Pakistan. Good morning, Preston.
Garrett, good morning. As you said, U.S. military jets, fighter jets, dive bombing Taliban positions, frontline positions around the capital of Kabul. This will no doubt help the Northern Alliance, the anti-Taliban opposition, in its bid to oust the Taliban leadership militarily from the north. Now, there are other targets in this campaign today as well. One of the main ones was the Kabul airport, the United States hitting it several times. Now, residents of the capital reported that at least 10 waves of U.S. planes came overhead. That's a dramatic escalation of the bombing runs in recent days. Now, as the Northern Alliance pursues a military ouster of the Taliban from the north, there has been a setback to the political movement to replace the Taliban once the government falls. And as you know, there have been attempts by Afghan leaders to form a government of national unity over the last few weeks. Reports today that one of the leaders of that, Abdul Haq, was captured by the Taliban after entering Afghanistan with some of his fighters and trying to fight with the Taliban and oust them militarily as well. Abdul Haq is a very legendary figure in the opposition movement, and this would be a potential setback to those efforts. Back to you.
Thank you, Preston Mendenhall, live this morning in Islamabad, Pakistan. Well, here's news from Europe this morning, certain to further inflame fears. British media are reporting Osama bin Laden has gained possession of nuclear materials. The Times of London and that city's Channel 4 say bin Laden illegally gained possession of the materials from Pakistan. Western intelligence sources cited in the report say that even if he has raw fissionable components, bin Laden doesn't currently have the technology to construct a functioning nuclear bomb. And a new survey out says reports of heightened security measures aren't making many people feel much safer when it comes to flying. A AAA survey says only 1/3 of Americans feels confident about stronger airport and airline security measures put into effect since the September 11th attacks. 7 out of 10 people said they have concerns about passenger access to the cockpit and the quality of baggage and aircraft inspections. Many people said they'd pay higher ticket prices or wait longer to board if security was increased even more. 72% say they'd accept more intrusive security procedures. And time now for this morning's weather. In for the vacationing Joe Whitty, AccuWeather meteorologist Dr. Joe Sobel.
Thanks, Garrett. Good morning, and good morning, everyone. Cold air making a move across a large part of the country, and it will be a chilly weekend in the Great Lakes and the Northeast. Big swirling low-pressure system on our satellite pictures this morning, and northwesterly winds driving the cold air southward. It'll get down to the Gulf Coast, it'll get down into Florida, and it will certainly reach the eastern seaboard this weekend. Fortunately, not a lot of precipitation. Rain and snow near the Great Lakes, rain in Florida, and rain and mountain snow in the Pacific Northwest. But as we look at our weather maps in motion, high pressure controls a good part of the nation, so the weather should be dry and really no travel problems to speak of. That's a look at the national weather. Now here's what's going on in your backyard.
Good morning, I'm meteorologist Chris Cimino. Sunshine will occasionally mix with some clouds today, becoming windy and chilly. Temperatures mostly middle 50s. Partly cloudy to clear. Colder tonight, 40 in town, 30 suburbs. Sun and clouds tomorrow. Quite chilly, highs 45 to 50.
To look at the weather, now back to you, Garrett.
Thanks, Joe. Dr. Joe Sobel in for Joe Whitty this morning. Well, there's news from 2 major airlines this morning, news which may come as a pleasant surprise for thousands of workers. And the rough and tumble times for Ford continue. The company's going to pay out billions in a settlement.
Want to try that triple Lux?
What the heck? I got supplemental insurance.
What's that?
A Lutz?
No, that something insurance.
Even the best insurance doesn't give you cash for things like lost pay and other expenses. This does.
What does?
Aflac. Ask about it at work.
The Bridgestone technology that protects drivers who go 200 miles per hour is distinctly reassuring to those of us who don't. Get quiet luxury, rugged performance, traction in the snow, and confidence in the rain. The distinction is Bridgestone.
All these technologies and more. Building a better world. Hitachi. Inspire the next.
Here's a look at how Tokyo and Hong Kong traded this morning. And here's the latest from European markets at this hour. On Wall Street, stocks were up late in the session, reversing a sharp decline as the passing of the anti-terror and economic stimulus bills raised hopes for an economic recovery. The Dow Jones Industrials were up 117 points to 94.62, and the Nasdaq was up 43 to 1775. Well, fewer than expected job cuts could be in the pipeline for two major U.S. airlines. Bob Sellers is in the CNBC newsroom now with more in today's Market Watch report. Hi, Bob.
Hi, Garrett. How you doing? Continental and Delta Airlines are both expecting to lay off fewer workers now that a number of employees have elected to take voluntary leave or early retirement. Continental says about 3,500 workers have taken advantage of these programs, with most opting for a leave of absence. Delta, which plans to cut as many as 13,000 jobs, says more than 7,000 employees have signed up for time off or severance packages. How the mighty have fallen. Fiber optic equipment maker JDS Uniphase posted a wider than expected loss in the third quarter, hurt by the drop in demand for communications equipment. The company's stock has dropped more than 90% in the past year. In other earnings news, Amgen, which makes drugs to treat kidney disease and cancer, that sort of thing, reported third quarter profits which edge past analyst forecasts. The company says it expects strong sales growth for the remainder of the year. Ford has agreed to settle a lawsuit over faulty ignition systems, which could end up costing the automaker almost $3 billion to replace. At least 11 deaths have been blamed on the problem, which can cause vehicles to stall in traffic. On the economic calendar today, we get new home sales for September, which are expected to drop, and the final look at the University of Michigan's Consumer Sentiment Index. That is for the month of October. Consumer sentiment, more and more important these days. That's it from here. Garrett, back to you.
Thank you, Bob. Bob Sellers in the CNBC newsroom. Well, just ahead on Early Today, combating bioterrorism. Are the men and women on the front lines properly prepared to respond to the daily deluge of bioterror scares?
Every car has its moment. This one has thousands per second. The new BMW 3 Series.
It's only a little scratch.
Here a scratch, there a scratch, everywhere a scratch. And they're all an eyesore. What you need is GS27 Scratch Remover. It gets rid of those surface scratches quickly and easily. Simply rub GS27 into the scratch, then polish to a beautiful finish. The scratch is gone. Would you do this to a brand new car? Ouch! But GS27 removes that ugly scratch quickly and easily. It'll even remove paint scrapes and unsightly rust. GS27 is only $9.95. But call right now and get a second tube for only $5. That's two for just $14.95. Plus, we'll give you this key finder key ring free. Just whistle and the key ring beeps. Order your GS27 now.
Call 1-800-736-3030 to order GS27 Scratch Remover now. Get one tube for $9.95 or double your order and receive two tubes for just $14.95. Call now 1-800-736-3030.
Today, starting at 5, new cases of anthrax infection. But as investigators narrow the source, should it be cause for new alarm? Plus, reaching for the gold. Will the Big Apple host the Summer Games as the U.S. fights for an Olympic bid? Today, starting at 5.
I have an idea. It's $1 million.
I just got a great idea. Shh. Don't tell me. Tell the Invention Idea Company. Ideas can make money, and the Invention Idea Company can show you how to turn your dream into reality, how to patent the idea, submit it to industry, and market it on the way to success. Call for your free invention kit now. 1-888-430-IDEA. That's 1-888-430-IDEA. The Invention Idea Company. Your first step to success.
Everyone knows how critical news and information is right now. So if you have friends and neighbors who are having trouble receiving WNBC's signal clearly, please tell them to redirect their rooftop antennas toward Alpine, New Jersey, the site of our new transmitter. Stay with us.
They're on the front lines in the domestic war against bioterrorism, but with a growing number of false alarms and hoaxes, the nation's hazardous material teams, hazmat teams, are being stretched to the limit. Here's NBC's Jim Avila.
St. Paul, Minnesota, Squad 2 Hazmat. The firefighters beneath the airlock Kevlar gray spacesuits now working overtime on anthrax patrol. Across the country, 3 million trained for a job they hoped would never come.
It's a nervous time. You just try to
stay calm and breathe.
Rick Fleming, 7 years behind the mask, 100 hours of biochemical training, taught to respond to these emergencies with slow, deliberate motions.
It's not like a fire. We can't just jump off and dash in.
11 a.m., the Minnesota State Capitol. Squad 2 called to open a suspicious envelope delivered to the Attorney General's office.
It's hard to handle products. You have double gloves, big gloves, thick gloves.
The fear is anthrax. What's going on in Fleming's mind, working in a fully enclosed suit that reaches 100 degrees in minutes as he opens the letter no one else will touch.
To make sure that I don't tear it and whatever may be in there, have it become spilled, airborne. We don't want anything that could be in there to puncture our gloves.
Inside, nothing harmful. Since the anthrax attacks began, St. Paul's Hazmat Squad has responded to nearly 150 calls in the city of nearly 300,000. Actually climbed into their $800 one-use-only chem suits 9 times, collecting no bio or chemical agents. The hazmat crews busier than ever. One call after another, as many as 50 a day, each taken seriously, even though most are hoaxes or mistaken identity. Everything from baby powder to crushed peppermints.
Everybody's paranoid, and every little bit of white powder they see they're calling on.
At the St. Paul Museum, hair gel in an abandoned briefcase closes the exhibits for 2 days. The College of St. Catherine, evacuated when a benign white powder is found in a student bathroom. Each investigated by the nation's hazmat teams holding their breath beneath that Kevlar suit. Jim Avila, NBC News, Chicago.
Well, just ahead on Early Today, the latest in personal safety, a source of great concern these days. We'll take a look at devices which could help you through an emergency.
Naturally, we do everything we can to protect what we have. But we also recognize the need for growth. And we know that with growth comes risk. What's important is finding the right balance.
Careful.
That's what we do best at Prudential Financial. We help you find the right balance in your financial life. Prudential Financial, growing and protecting your wealth.
You may know Delphi Automotive Systems is in your car.
Happy anniversary.
Honey?
But how would you like a glimpse of what we're developing for tomorrow?
Take a look at our communication systems, where we're bringing the internet, even email, into your next vehicle.
And our advanced vehicle dynamics will give drivers greater control. Have a nice evening.
Delphi Automotive Systems, driving tomorrow's technology.
Are you going to stay out here all night?
Are you struggling to hear on your cell phone? Then try the internal antenna. Simply place under your battery and presto. It's like adding a 4-foot antenna to your phone. You'll be able to hear in buildings, hallways, even drive-in tunnels with better reception and less static. Watch, we put it to the ultimate test in an elevator. The ordinary phone doesn't work, but the internal antenna cell phone works. The sound is perfectly clear. Amazing. Best of all, it works on any mobile phone.
Before I used to get static, but now with the internal antenna, the calls are perfectly clear.
No more static or dropped calls. Competitive products cost $29.95. But now on this exclusive TV offer, you get the internal antenna for only $19.99. But wait, call within the next 10 minutes and get the Wave Scrambler, a $20 value free. Filters out 99% of electromagnetic waves, making it safe to talk on the phone. Imagine the internal antenna and the Wave Scramblers, a $50 value, all for only $19.99. Not available in stores. Order today.
Well, since September 11th, Americans have shown heightened interest in ensuring their personal safety. But aside from gas masks and antibiotics, there are some practical things you can purchase to prepare for emergencies. And joining us with the latest in personal safety gadgets is the GizWiz, Dick DeBartolo. Hi, Dick.
How you doing? I do have some neat stuff. This is brand new from First Alert Ultimate Smoke Detector. A little microprocessor helps to tell the difference between emergency smoke and cooking smoke. But something really neat, if it goes off and you don't want it to go off, take any remote control, wave it over the unit, it will shut it down.
Wow. How much does it cost?
It's going to be under $30. When it's up on the ceiling, take that same remote once a week, check it, see that it's working.
That's great.
This is carbon monoxide and smoke detector, 2-in-1. We're going into the heating season. Heat produces carbon monoxide. So this guy has 2 different lights, 2 different sounds. And the fire department says this coming weekend, change your clock, change your battery.
Boy, I know. You know what? We had the thing go off. You know, that slow beep last season.
Did you take the battery out?
Yeah.
and people forget to put them back in. This guy is Life Hood. This is a mask in case of a fire that you slip over your head. Now, there's a filter here, and the manufacturer says that'll give you 15 to 20 minutes of escape time.
Wow.
Now, if it's a slow burning fire, that will develop carbon monoxide. So this is called the evacuate, and that has a canister filter, so it'll filter out carbon monoxide.
You would peel this off? Or
No, you put the whole thing on. You just slip that on, goes right over your head. And both these are from the Magellans.com.
Okay.
Your battery goes dead, cell phones critically important in emergencies. This is not coming until January, but I thought it'd be fun to show. You can actually wind. This is a Motorola StarTech. You'll be able to wind this for 45 seconds and talk 2 to 3 minutes on your cell phone.
This is out already? Or
no, this is coming in January.
And what's it going to cost, do you know?
This will be about $50.
So that's a great invention.
Now I'll show you something that is out. There are 2 different versions. There's Talk On and Cell Rescue. Looks like a cigarette lighter. It's a flashlight, but that's the flashlight part. You put in regular AAA batteries. This slips into your cell phone. You buy it for each specific cell phone. This will give you 40 to 60 minutes of talk time.
Dick, 15 seconds left. Anything out of what's left that's really important?
Weather Alert 2000, looks like an alarm clock. The National Weather Service can send you emergency bulletins. Civil emergencies will show up on your clock.
That was great. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you so much. And we'll, Dick DeBartolo there with the latest. You can learn all about all these and more safety gadgets on Dick's website, which is gizwizbiz.com. Well, recapping our top stories this morning, anthrax still the dominant worry for Americans as we head into the weekend. A new report this morning that anthrax has been found in a building at CIA headquarters in Langley, Virginia. The widening impact of anthrax also being felt at the State Department. 2 victims there, one with a more dangerous inhalation form of the virus. This as the conduit for anthrax, the mail system undertakes extensive testing and introduces a host of new safety procedures. And the military effort in Afghanistan continues, even as officials concede the hunt for bin Laden could go on for months. And finally this Friday, if you're like most everyone and at least a little fed up with all the talk of terrorism and Osama bin Laden, then take a look at this. That's right, it's an Osama bin Laden piñata, and this South Texas woman is reaping a windfall selling them. The Osama bin Laden piñata sells for about $40. I'm Garrett Glazer, and this is Early Today on NBC.
You're watching Early Today, your first look at business news. You are watching Early Today, the first word in business and breaking news from around the world. Early Today, your wake-up call to the new global economy.
This morning on Today, on our special series, America Today, an economy as unsettled as the nation. Your money, your job, how to keep them safe. This morning on Today.
If I could do anything, I would do this.
If I could beat anyone, I would be a champion.
If I could say anything, it would be I did it.
Every step gets me closer to the finish line. Closer.
Closer. Sea of faces.
Sea of dreams.
Look at all of these people. We are all in this together somehow.
The same thing is driving us all. One more step. Keep on going.
Keep on going.
Keep on going.
The New York City Marathon, Sunday, November 4th at 10, only on NBC4.
Now, more than ever, it's important to show how much you care, and nothing says I love you more than the gift of a diamond. The Jewelry Factory has a huge selection of loose diamonds from D Flawless Ideal Makes to 1-carat solitaires for $5.99. Most of our diamonds are inscribed with the EGL or GIA certificate number and guaranteed to be the lowest price. All of the jewelry made in the Jewelry Factory's state-of-the-art factory is guaranteed to appraise for double. Buy factory direct and save. The Jewelry Factory in Hackensack.
It's a Friday morning, and there's heavy traffic heading into the Lincoln Tunnel, heading toward the city. At 4:56, we've got 56 degrees, and we are expecting some cooler temperatures as we welcome you to Today in New York on a Friday morning. Good morning. I'm Maurice Dubois.
And I'm Jane Hansen. Topping our news, random anthrax testing is ordered at post offices nationwide as the bacteria is found at a Manhattan mail processing station.
Overseas, the war in Afghanistan, at least one missile is fired at U.S. warplanes attacking the capital of Kabul. And President Bush will sign an anti-terrorism bill today, expanding the FBI's wiretapping and surveillance powers.
Time for us to check the weather. How cold are we going to get, Chris?
Well, temperatures are actually sliding downward this morning. Probably we'll lose a few more degrees, but the rest of the weekend is going to be chillier than today. Carmel High School in Carmel, New York, and Putnam County, 51 degrees right now. That's just the beginning of this cool down. I'll have the details coming up.
We're coming up, Billy Bush with a story of love and pain from September 11th. And how the Breeders' Cup set for tomorrow will affect our local economy.
Plus, former Met Keith Hernandez joins us with a look at the World Series matchup between the Yanks and the Diamondbacks. And Jeffrey Lyons with this weekend's new movies. It's a Friday morning on Today in New York.
September 11th, 2001. A day of unspeakable horror. Our lives changed forever. Now our families, friends, and our country need your support. Donate to the Twin Towers Fund. Call 877-870-4278 or online. GE and Pfizer are leading the way, but every dollar matters. You can help rebuild, reclaim, and recover our freedom. We shall overcome.
NBC Tonight begins with an all-new Providence. As a wedding approaches, a relationship ends.
I'll never be able to live in your world.
And an act of heroism will change a family. And after a new Dateline, an all-new Law & Order SVU, a famous sex doctor murdered.
A cold predator.
A case of greed and passion.
Join the party.
Don't look away. How they catch this killer is a shocker.
Oh my God.
An all-new Providence, an all-new Dateline, and an all-new Law & Order SVU. NBC Tonight.
Hi, I'm Fran Tarkington. This is the key to getting your new car. Even if you have bad credit or no credit at all, just call 1-800-BAR-NONE. Our friendly operators will complete your application in a matter of minutes, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Just one call from the privacy of your home, and you could have your approval package the very next day. It may also include a check for your new car. Even if you've been turned down before, get the car you need and deserve. Call 1-800-BAR-NONE right now.
I was sitting up watching my gospel like I usually do.
All it took was a vision.
I looked out the window and I seen her car on my bumper.
And she loved thy neighbor no more.
I said, could you move your car off my bumper?
She come up to me and tried to hit me in my face with the stick.
When hell breaks loose.
So I sprayed with mace.
She sprayed me with mace.
She sprayed you with mace?
Yes, she did.
Will this woman have a prayer?
I was defending myself.
Next Judge Judy.
These two of you really don't like each other.
Today at 4, only on NBC4. You're watching NBC4, the Tri-State News Channel. And now, Jane Hansen, Maurice Dubois, Chris Cimino, and Fran Charles. This is News Channel 4, Today in New York.
More postal workers ordered to take antibiotics as anthrax is found at post offices in New York and New Jersey.
And in Afghanistan, at least one missile is fired at U.S. warplanes.
And in this country, police get new powers to secretly search and eavesdrop in an anti-terrorism bill President Bush will sign into law today on this Friday morning, the 26th of October, 2001. Good morning. I'm Maurice Dubois.
And I'm Jane Hansen. We'll get to all our news in a moment, but first, let's talk to Chris. 56 degrees right now. Is that as warm as it'll be today?
Just about, yeah. We may get it up there another degree or two and then start to slide back down a little bit later on. The cold air is kind of coming in installments, as we talked about yesterday. The first shot arrived overnight last night, knocking the temperatures down into the 50s. We're at 56 now, mostly clear sky, and we check out some of the area-wide temperatures. A little bit chillier up to the north at Newburgh, where it's 48 degrees this hour, 48 out at Islip, too, 53 in Newark, and
46 in Belmar. Now, satellite picture shows we're in the clear. You do see some rain and even some wet snow showers. Those are lake effect snow showers and rain showers coming off the eastern Great Lakes. Temperature-wise today, we're expected to top off somewhere in the mid to upper 50s this morning, then settle back to the low 50s for the mid and late afternoon. Then tonight, windy and chilly. Overnight low about 40 in the city and 30s in the suburbs. We're talking about wind chills in the 20s. Yikes. We were just talking about 70s, not even 24 hours ago. But
what a difference a
they're
day
gone.
makes. Yeah. Thanks, Chris. Let's bring you up to speed now on what's been happening overnight. There are reports this morning that traces of anthrax have been found in a building at CIA headquarters in Langley, Virginia.
U.S. warplanes continue to target Taliban forces in Afghanistan. Defense Secretary Rumsfeld says the Taliban's military capability has been, quote-unquote, degraded and diminished.
Another possible anthrax case at the New Jersey post office that handled tainted letters sent to Senator Tom Maddest and others. And a Virginia postal worker with flu-like symptoms is being tested for anthrax.
Today, President Bush will sign a bill into law that will give police sweeping new powers in the fight against terrorism. The new law will also give the FBI wider authority for wiretapping and electronic eavesdropping.
And the Pentagon will today grant the biggest contract in U.S. military history, $200 billion to manufacture a new fighter jet. Now let's talk about that anthrax testing that's been ordered for postal facilities along the East Coast after more cases are confirmed. Walter Perez is live at a Manhattan mail processing facility now where traces of anthrax have indeed been found. Walter?
Good morning, Jane. Well, at 10 o'clock this morning, the Postal Union will be holding an executive board meeting to discuss the anthrax situation here at the Morgan facility in Midtown. But in the big picture, that is only one part of the story. The painstaking work of testing and cleaning this, the first contaminated building in Florida. The work is slow and dangerous, and this team from the EPA takes no chances with anthrax. In Manhattan on 9th Avenue, anthrax spores were found on 4 sorting machines at the Morgan facility. Since anthrax letters were probably sorted here, health officials say the mild contamination is not surprising. But try telling that to the workers.
You don't know what to expect. It's just naturally scared.
The spores are up in the dust and the dirt, and if that's not taken care of, we could get sick then. 10 days from now, a month from now.
Medicine is now being offered to all the workers here, but union leaders say they want the entire building shut down.
What we have to have here, another 2 people lose their lives?
The contaminated area on the 3rd floor is sealed off and cleanup is underway. Near Trenton, New Jersey, hazmat teams continue their work, but there are new fears as there may be a second case of inhalation anthrax there.
She has symptoms that are compatible and similar to 2 of the other inhalational cases.
Postal workers there are being advised to take antibiotics for an extended period.
Now we're going to extend it to 60 days, the full course.
And in Carteret, New Jersey, postal workers have also been put on antibiotics. In Washington, there's another case of inhalation anthrax, this time a State Department employee who works at a mail facility in Virginia. And a second worker there has flu-like symptoms. Investigators are now trying to find out if a separate anthrax letter was mailed to the State Department or if the anthrax came from contaminated machines at D.C.'s main mail center. Officials said the anthrax found in all the letters so far is a normal average strain. But in the letter to Senate Majority Leader Tom Daschle, there was a key difference.
And the spores are smaller. Therefore, they're more dangerous because they can be more easily absorbed in a person's respiratory system.
For us at Channel 4, a second confirmed case of skin anthrax has been found at NBC. The good news is that employee was already being monitored and medicated and is expected to make a full recovery. Reporting live from Midtown, Walter Perez, News Channel 4. Jana Maurice, back to you.
All right, Walter, thank you very much. The onset of winter will reduce the round-the-clock cleanup efforts going on at Ground Zero. As we take a look at the work going on down there right now, let us tell you that during the winter, the work will continue 7 days a week, but not through the overnight cold. Also, published reports today say that toxic chemicals at the disaster site are being released into the environment. And the mayor responded to a New York Times report yesterday that says the number of Trade Center victims could be closer to 3,000 instead of the city's tally of nearly 5,000.
If it's one person, or 100 or 1,000 or 2,000 or 3,000 or 4,000 or 5,000, it's almost something macabre about the concentration on what the number might be. I mean, it's a lot of people and a lot of people who are in tremendous, and a lot of families that are in tremendous sorrow.
And in the latest count, 454 of the victims have been identified.
Today, President Bush will give police new weapons in the battle against terrorists when he signs an anti-terrorism bill into law. The bill gives the FBI wider authority to wiretap and eavesdrop. It also imposes stronger penalties for harboring or financing terrorists. However, courts will oversee email snooping, and the wiretap rules expire after 4 years. Those provisions were added at the request of civil libertarians. The sweeping expansion of police powers was, of course, prompted by the attacks on September 11th.
Out of the war, Defense Secretary Donald Rumsfeld says the aerial bombardment, now in its third week, is making progress. American warplanes dropped more bombs during raids near Afghanistan's capital. At least one missile was among the rounds fired on U.S. jets, but it missed. U.S. warplanes pounded frontline Taliban positions, especially those troops dug in around Kabul's airport. Fighters with the Northern Alliance have seized the airport, but Taliban forces still hold the hills above it. And some of the opposition leaders are complaining that U.S. attacks have not been strong enough, they say. Israel has decided to begin a gradual withdrawal from towns in the West Bank. The pullout will only proceed, they say, if Palestinians observe a ceasefire agreement. Today, Israeli officials will sit down with Palestinians and American negotiators to hammer out the terms of a deal. Dozens of Palestinians have been killed during Israel's week-long invasion into the West Bank to find the terrorist who assassinated a cabinet minister.
Now to the latest on that deadly scaffolding accident that killed 5 people in Gramercy Park here in Manhattan. Investigators believe it may have been caused by a heavy concrete load that was placed on the 14th story of the scaffold. They say the concrete could have caused the scaffold to sway and eventually buckle. Meanwhile, a criminal investigation could be brewing. The buildings department says no permits were obtained to erect that scaffold. Money was the focus of last night's debate in the New Jersey governor's race. Republican Brett Schundler and Democrat Jim McGreevey sparred over taxes.
Mr. Schundler raised taxes in Jersey City 5 times.
I've said absolutely positively I will not raise taxes. I'll be cutting taxes.
We're not raising taxes. We're going to ensure that we have a government that works and works well.
I believe he is going to raise taxes. I believe he's telling you point blank that he's going to raise taxes.
The debate was held at the College of New Jersey in Ewing. The candidates are scheduled to face off again this Sunday. That takes place right here at WNBC.
All right, let's check out what's going on in the commute this morning. Hi, Katie.
Good morning, Maurice. Good morning, Jane. We made it to Friday morning, and so far, I'm afraid to say this, but we've got a pretty good start out there. Let's take a look at the Panasonic Skycam. Show you the inbound George Washington Bridge. Good news, no troubles getting into the tolls or across the span. Getting here, I do need to remind you that the eastbound side of Route 4, you will find the right lane closed. This from 208 out to Paramus Road in Paramus. Ongoing construction project out there around the clock until next Saturday, November 3rd. Yesterday, this created extensive delays getting to the George Washington Bridge. So as the morning continues, we'll keep you posted, but 46 might not be a bad choice for you getting into the bridge. If you're headed to the East River, northbound side of the BQE, getting a little bit crowded at this point as you travel into the Brooklyn Bridge, but traffic across all the East River crossings so far moving very nicely into town. Alternate side is in effect citywide, so you do have to move the car today. Back to you.
All right.
Okay.
Thank you very much, Katie. No, it hasn't been that bad out so far, but going to be a nice weekend to watch a World Series.
Yeah, I think so.
That's true. Yeah, so it's being provided for you, so you don't want to go and leave the house.
Exactly.
So there.
It's going to be a little cool,
The
though,
evenings
right?
actually will be quite chilly come Saturday night and Sunday night as well. A little snuggle weather coming up, perhaps, and maybe a little log on the fire for some folks. But in the meantime, we're just progressively getting chillier as we speak right now. Yesterday, though, we were in the mid-70s again in the afternoon. I think 5 out of the last 6 days were 70 degrees or better. No more. Bye-bye, at least for a while anyway. 55 degrees, clear sky right now. As we look at the weather records on this date, 78, the record high back in 1964, 30, the record low way back in 1879, almost 3.5 inches of rain back in 1943. And speaking of rain, we didn't get anything out of that front yesterday. We could use some. We have a little bit over 0.6 of an inch of rain for the entire month of October. That's it. So it's been pretty dry out there, to say the least. Pollen report from UMDNJ. Good news here. Ragweed and the mold spore counts are low. Nice. Temperatures are low out to the west, too. Bradford, Pennsylvania, a little snow in the air, 37 this morning. Some snow flurries in Cleveland at 42, Detroit 39. See Harrisburg at 50, Washington at 50, Philadelphia 57, 58 at LaGuardia right now. So the cooler air coming in gradually. We go from 50s to 40s and then to 30s. And that's going to be the trend around here over the next couple of days. It's going to take a little while to get to the bottoming out point in these temperatures. Probably Saturday and Saturday night will be the coolest period. Sunshine today. We'll mix a few fair weather clouds in with that, but not a major problem. All the rain and snow showers you saw across the western portions of New York and Pennsylvania, lake effect driven. They don't survive their trek south and eastward toward us. Things dry out. It will be windy, though, probably gusting near 30 miles an hour at times during the mid and late afternoon hours. The air mixing up quite a bit, and that'll continue on into tonight and probably tomorrow as well. Jet stream, though, shows a big shot of cold air driving all the way to the south and east. Now, it's been quite unsettled across much of Florida. That will start to dry on out a little bit towards the weekend, too. While warmer weather builds towards the central plains, the cold air will continue to sink in along the eastern seaboard, and we stay chilly until next week. We start to moderate a little bit temperature-wise. Forecast for today, then, we'll top off early. This 57 probably coming in the morning hours, and then starting to drop in the afternoon into the low and mid-50s at best. That'll be about it. And then for tonight, some patchy clouds, otherwise clear, brisk, chilly, 40 city, 30 suburbs. Only 51 tomorrow, 52 on Sunday, and then we get back to the upper 50s, and by Tuesday, when the Yanks make their return, we'll be in the low 60s. Of course, the night games, this time of the year, even if you get to the 60s by day, it does cool down at night, so it'll be a little crisp, too, for Tuesday and Wednesday as well.
We'll talk to Keith Hernandez about what it's like to play in the Fall Classic.
I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah.
Because he played for that other team.
And who would that be?
Yeah. Who?
The Metropolitans.
Yes.
Oh.
I'm sure he'll remind you of that.
1986 champion.
It's been a while.
It has, but we'll talk.
Okay.
Thank you, sir.
It's always next season, okay? Thanks.
All right, some of the biggest names in horse racing are in this town this weekend for the Breeders' Cup.
Let's go out to Joe Avalar. He's at Belmont Park. How you doing, Joe?
Morning, Joe.
It's a little nippy out here, but it's going to be an exciting day tomorrow. It certainly is. Hold on one second. Got a problem there. Now we've fixed it. It's going to be a big day here of racing. Actually, it's a big day for the city because people come from all over the world for this day of racing here on Saturday. They called it the Breeders' Cup, the World Thoroughbred Championships. It was described to me as a dream day of 8 horse races, 8 Belmonts, if you will, and the stakes are actually bigger for each of the races. Now, I talked about economic impact. Well, let's show you some of that. A beautiful day and a beautiful place just out of the city. Plus, on Saturday, the total purse is $14 million for the 8 races of the Breeders' Cup World Thoroughbred Championships. The top horses from all over the world will compete, but will people come after September 11th?
I think so. This is a huge event. New York is an event city. It only comes to New York once every 5 or 6 years. This is the 4th time in the 18 years of the Breeders' Cup. And we've seen big crowds come out for the New York Yankees, as well as the Mets and the Jets and the Giants. So I think sports has played a big role in that and bringing people back together. And I think it's going to be a fun day. So I think, yeah, people will come out.
I think the Yankees turned things around, really helped New York get back on its feet slowly. And so, you know, when you see that their stadium filled full of people and
$100 million. Here in New York, we think it's about $50 or $60 million. It's big. It comes at a great time. The local economy needs a boost, and even more so, an international sporting event returning to New York. I think it's very important for the social fabric of the city and of the state.
Well, it is a wonderful thing. As I told you, 8 dream races are what they're talking about. All begins about noon on Saturday. There's a couple of early races, and then the 8 big races begin and last till about 6 o'clock on Saturday. General admission's $10, and there's one other note that I want to add to this. They're also raising money for the Heroes Fund. That's what they're calling it, for World Trade Center relief, for the victims' families, of course, and for the rescue workers and their families. So far, they've raised $2 million. Their goal was just to raise $1 million. So far, as I said, they've raised $2 million. And part of the gate, part of the general admission fare will go to that. In fact, one of the owners of the horses has said he's going to give all his winnings, so let's hope he wins, all his winnings to this fund. That's quite something. He's the Minister of Defense of the country of Dubai, and that's what he said he's going to do. Some of what's happening here. We're going to show you the horses, talk to Bob Baffert a little bit more in the next half hour, so come on back. Back to you.
We will, Joe. Wouldn't miss it. Thanks. Up next, we're going to go overseas and check out the markets in London. Also, thousands flock to Madison Square Garden for another job fair.
And as we said, we'll get a World Series preview from former Met Keith Hernandez talking about those Yanks and Mike Mussina. But first, take a look. We've got some winning lottery numbers from last night. We'll be right back.
Chevrolet has helped keep America moving. And we're not about to stop now. Chevrolet is proud to offer interest-free financing on every new car and truck we build. Every new Chevrolet, interest-free. It's one way we can help keep America rolling forward. Chevrolet, we'll be there.